Hello and welcome to the Brick Cave Media Podcast. My name is Sharon Skinner. I'm author of Blood from a Rose from Brick Cave Books. The Brick Cave Podcast is brought to you by the BC Book Club, Brick Cave Media's community portal for readers that love Brick Cave books and authors. You can join today and be a part of the Brick Cave story at Brick Cave Media's website, brickcave.media.
And my name is Bruce Davis. I'm the author of the forthcoming Profit and Loss from Brick Cave Books. We're here tonight in the Brick Cave studio, located in the Brick Cave office, right here in beautiful downtown Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa, Arizona. Here we are.
So, Sharon, what do we talk about?
I want to talk about how it's almost summer already. It feels like summer already.
It's getting there.
I know.
This is Arizona,
I
so
know.
welcome to the heat.
Welcome to the heat.
Actually, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a creature of heat.
Yeah?
I soak it up.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons we live here.
It's already, well, I don't mind it so much except for when I'm trying to sleep. And I want
Well,
to
yeah,
cool
then you want to cool it. Air conditioning is
a must here.
Must here.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
is, in my opinion, a pool to soak in wherever that may be.
And play crocodile.
Yes, crocodile strategy.
Yes, so let's talk a little bit about what we just came from a book festival meeting where we were talking about the upcoming Mesa Book Festival.
Yes, and although it's a ways off, December 7th, it's never too soon to start thinking about these things. We really don't have a major festival in the Phoenix Valley dedicated to books and reading. And although the December event is going to be mainly book sales and marketing, which is fine, I think we need to leverage this thing. I think this valley has a need for that. I think it's quiet. It's sometimes hard to reach the people who would be interested. But once the event is up and running, I think you will gather momentum.
Yeah, I think that we were doing the event before COVID. And I think COVID kind of derailed so many things, including that. And it having to then kind of start over has been, I think, a bit of a challenge.
Agreed. I think we saw that before 2019, where we were building some momentum and starting to feel like, this was going to take off, and then everything just shut down.
Yeah. So this year's book festival is going to be December 7th. And it's going to be in downtown Mesa off Main Street on McDonald, where they do the closure for Mary Main Street. So I'm kind of excited to see how that works out.
Yeah, I think we had a good planning session. There's a lot of work yet to be done. But I think people will enjoy it. I think if you just come out and become part of the atmosphere,
Yeah, and you
don't books make great gifts.
Books make great gifts, and you don't have to drive all the way to Tucson for it.
Exactly.
So, hey, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
It's right here in your own backyard. So, yeah, there's a lot more planning to be done and a lot more work to be done. My understanding is that this summer, I think June or July is when the vending will open up for registration for authors to be able to register for that. And I have no news on who any of the guests will be, but I'm excited about having it again this year.
I am too. This is always one of those fun events that, you spend an afternoon and just get to meet people and talk about things.
Talk about books.
Yes.
I love talking about books.
Talking about books, we're also going to have a presence at a couple of new cons this year.
Yep.
I don't know that anybody will make the trek, but if we have listeners in Denver or Las Vegas, we will be at Mile High Con and LosCon.
LosCon is in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, yes.
And we'll be at TusCon again this year.
And then TusCon as always.
Because that's our hometown kind of local. We love going down there.
Yeah.
It's a great community. It's solid. It's a more relaxing weekend than most cons are for me.
Right, because we know everybody and it's low key and it's just kind of fun.
Yeah. It's nice and relaxed, and it's a good group of people, and we get to hang out and talk books and writing and
even
pop stuff, pop culture, and all the
that
things.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. So, do you want to do a reading update? You want to talk a little bit about what you've been reading?
I've been reading a lot of historical fiction.
Aha.
As you probably know, Jeff Shaara is one of my favorite historical authors and my mentor text for my own historic writing. So I got just through The Old Lion, which is a novelization of the last days of Theodore Roosevelt.
Interesting.
And the setup is essentially his deathbed, the last week or so of his life, where he really did do some fairly extensive interviews with his biographer, Charles Hagedorn, who wrote a 3-volume contemporary biography of Roosevelt that was 2 volumes published during his lifetime and the 3rd one after his death. But then he's reminiscing with Hagedorn in the interviews about some lesser-known events in his life, like cattle ranching in the Dakotas, which many people don't know that for several years he ran a cattle ranch in Dakota Territory. His ill-fated exposition to the Amazon after he left the presidency, where both he and his oldest boy almost died in this rather intense expedition to find the course of a river that had never been mapped. And as you can imagine, trekking through the Amazon in your 60s is not an easy thing to do.
Not in any decade.
No, he was 60 years old.
No, I know, but he was 60,
Yes.
but not at any time
In your life.
In your life is it an easy thing to do, right?
And again, Shaara has this talent for taking a historical character, using their actual words, not putting words in their mouth, but making it sound like it's coming from their character, not just a quotation. Because he gets into their head and you see insights into the character. I just love the way he writes them.
Nice.
I also read P.T. Deutermann's maybe final volume in the War in the Pacific called Iwo 26 Charlie, which is about a naval gunfire spotter on the ground in Iwo Jima. And it's very intense. And now I am going through Some Danger Involved by Will Thomas. And it's a Sherlock Holmes pastiche, but it's not about Holmes. It's about another consulting detective. But it's a modern writer. And although it has the air of Victorian London, it's a lot darker and grittier without Conan Doyle's, Victorian gentility. So it's kind of fun.
Nice. So, but that's not historical fiction. That's historical fiction, not historical as in the way the others are.
Yes, not the way the others are. This is a Sherlock Holmes pastiche. I mean, that's exactly what it is. You can see all the parallels.
Well, I have been reading a lot of fiction and a lot of fantasy recently. So I recently read a book called The Scapegracers, which is the first book in a series by Hannah Abigail Clark. And it's about a group of teenage girls who form a coven and perform witchcraft. And it's actually really well done. I rather enjoyed it. One of the girls starts as kind of an outcast, and the popular girls want her to do magic at their party to impress everybody. And things just sort of start happening and escalate from there. And that was a bit of a fun ride. And then I read a book called A Taste of Gold and Iron. And that one is by Alexander Roland. And it's a fantasy. The world building is really, really well done in this. It's basically it's a romantasy, but it's an LBGTQ romantasy, almost a bromantasy, if you will, I guess if that were a thing. and it's beautifully done. And it takes place in a culture that's very almost Middle Eastern, so they wear kaftans and they all wear jewelry, and all of anybody who's in the hierarchy that's up at the level of the prince or whomever, they all dress beautifully. It was a fun read, and there's intrigue and political intrigue, and and the concept of it was really interesting, because the talent that many of the people in this world have is the ability to hold metal and taste it. So they can tell how pure metal is, and they can sense where it was mined and how it was smelted, and then turned into things. And that includes things as simple as a door hinge. That they can sense this stuff, but specific tasters have the ability to tell like the percentage of gold, and of course the whole thing revolves around some counterfeiting that's going on, that they're trying to solve the mystery of who's doing the counterfeiting. So that was really fun. And then I read a very powerful kind of a feminist manifesto called "The Year of the Witching" by Alexis Henderson, and it's kind of about a religious almost cult, and it's very patriarchal, and the mother is considered evil, and she rules the woods, and the father is considered good, and he brings the son and all this stuff. But because it's all run by men, that religion, all the women are oppressed, and all the things. So but I thought it was really well done, and it's got a little bit of a romance in it, but it was really more about exploring those various cultures where magic was used and not reviled, and then another one where magic is reviled, but they do some pretty horrible things. So I thought that was really, I enjoyed it very much. The writing is really, really good in it. The writing is really